The film opens in a near-future America, torn apart by a second civil war. Texas and California have seceded to form the Western Forces militia, while Florida has established its own alliance. During a televised address, the nation's three-term president celebrates a major victory for the Loyalist states after a devastating blow to the Western forces. Watching from her New York City hotel room, renowned photojournalist Lee Smith sees the speech interrupted by a bombing in the downtown area. The next day, Lee ventures into the heart of a protest with her colleague Joel. Amid the chaos, young journalist Jesse Cullen is struck in the face, prompting Lee to help her and offer her a fluorescent press vest. Moments later, Lee spots a woman charging into the crowd with an American flag. Realizing the danger, she pulls Jesse into cover just before the woman detonates a suicide bomb. Once the dust settles, Lee and Jesse begin capturing haunting images of the carnage. Later, Lee and Joel meet their mentor, veteran journalist Sammy, at a hotel gathering of reporters. The group plans a perilous road trip through the nation's war zones to reach Washington, D.C., in hopes of securing an interview with the president, despite his open hostility toward the press. Determined to witness the front lines firsthand, Sammy insists on accompanying them to Charlottesville, Virginia. Overhearing their plan, Jesse approaches Lee, expressing her admiration and eagerness to document the unfolding war alongside her. The next morning, the group prepares to set out, with Lee noticing that Jesse is joining the journey. She voices her concerns to Joel in a less than subtle conversation about traveling with both Jesse and Sammy, but Joel reassures her that neither will be a problem. After hours on the road, they stop for fuel, available only in exchange for Canadian currency. While there, one of the armed guards leads Jesse away, prompting Lee to follow. He takes them to a grim scene. Two looters suspended by their wrists, brutally tortured. The gunman offers Lee and Jesse the choice to authorize their execution. Lee declines, instead asking him to pose for a photograph with the men. Moments later, the gunman kills them off-screen. Back on the road, Jesse laments that she didn't manage to capture a single shot of the incident. The group later stops at an abandoned mall so Jesse can photograph a crashed helicopter. She awkwardly apologizes to Lee, worried she's a burden, but Lee brushes it off. That night, they sit together under the eerie glow of distant gunfire lighting up the horizon. Their journey grows even more dangerous when they must cross a sniper zone. Dodging gunfire while searching for the perfect shot, they witness several men gunned down in front of them. Following a unit of Allied militia, they storm the building, eliminate the sniper, and capture the rest of his team. The group eventually reaches a refugee camp, where they take a moment to rest and eat. As they settle in, Lee and Jesse grow closer, with Jesse developing photos she captured during the sniper encounter. She brings up Lee's early career, referencing the iconic shot Lee took during the Antifa massacre. Lee, in turn, praises Jesse's own work, noting the strength of her images. That night, the four share a rare moment of warmth and camaraderie. Resuming their journey, they pass through a small town seemingly untouched by the chaos of the Civil War. Residents go about their lives peacefully, as though the conflict doesn't exist. While changing clothes at a local shop, Joel asks the store owner if they're aware of the war raging across the country. She simply replies that the town chooses to ignore it. Later, a car speeds up behind them, raising fears of an ambush, until they realize it's Joel's journalist friends from Hong Kong, Tony and Bohai. In a lighthearted moment, Tony climbs through the van window, and Jesse swaps vehicles to ride with Bohai. The mood shifts abruptly when the group notices Tony and Bohai's car stopped ahead, both doors hanging open. Approaching cautiously, they are confronted by loyalist gunmen executing travelers and dumping their bodies into shallow graves. The lead gunman coldly shoots Bohai, leaving the others in silent shock. Joel tries to defuse the situation by claiming they're Americans, but when the gunman learns Tony is from Hong Kong, he shoots him as well. In the chaos, Sammy slams the van into the gunman and one of his men, killing them instantly, before pulling Lee, Joel, and Jesse back inside. As they speed away, the last remaining gunman opens fire, forcing them to flee the scene. Fleeing the gunman, Jesse vomits in the back of the van while Sammy reveals to Lee and Joel that he's been shot and can no longer drive. Joel quickly takes the wheel, navigating through a burning forest until they finally reach a Western Forces military base in Charlottesville. By the time they arrive, Sammy has succumbed to his wounds. At the camp, they meet a British journalist named Anya, who informs them that several Loyalist generals have already surrendered, a revelation that makes their perilous journey and Sammy's death feel painfully futile. Determined to finish what they started, Lee, Joel, and Jesse embed with the Western forces as they push toward Washington, intent on storming the White House and capturing the president. Once inside the war zone, Jesse is eager to capture every moment on camera, while Lee, numb and shell-shocked, moves almost mechanically. The journalists take cover as Western forces tanks tear through the last pockets of Loyalist resistance before advancing on the heavily fortified White House. The Secret Service appears to be evacuating the president, but the soldiers quickly realize it's only a decoy. Pushing deeper into the building, the group encounters heavily armed Secret Service agents. In the chaos, Jesse nearly steps into the line of fire, but Lee shoves her out of the way, taking a fatal bullet in her place. As Lee lies dying, Jesse instinctively raises her camera, capturing her mentor's final moments. Jesse and Joel press on into the Oval Office, where Western Forces soldiers have the president pinned to the floor. Seething with rage over the loss of his friends, Joel kneels beside the president and demands a quote. The president pleads with him to stop the soldiers from killing him. Joel coldly replies, "That'll do." Seconds later, the soldiers execute the president, and Jesse captures the moment in a haunting photograph.